Welcome to Advanced Accounting. My name is Alan Blankley, and before I talk about the course, I think I probably owe it to you to tell you a little something about myself. I grew up in Syracuse. Now, that probably sets me apart from virtually every other faculty member at Syracuse, because they didn't, and I did. I went to Grant Junior High School and Henniger High School. Of course, the most famous thing about Grant Junior High School is that the year before I went, Jim Boeheim was teaching there. And of course, he's the basketball coach at Syracuse at this point in time. So I feel like I have a connection to Jim Boeheim, but I have to tell you, he doesn't really listen to me when I try to give him basketball advice. So, I gave that up years ago. At any rate, after high school, I went to Houghton College, which is in Western New York. If you were to find Buffalo on the map and Rochester on the map, and you drew a line that reached to the bottom of a triangle from those two cities, that's where Houghton is. It's in Western New York. And of course, the most famous thing about Houghton, I think, is that it's 45 minutes to the nearest McDonald's. So it really is kind of out in the woods. Well, then after that, I went to Baylor in Texas, and I got a master's degree. And then I decided I needed a little bit more education, so ultimately I went to Texas A&M, and I got an MBA and completed my PhD in accounting at Texas A&M. After A&M, I worked for a while in a business as an accountant, and then went to Western Michigan University. It was my first teaching job, and I was there and wound up at Miami University in Ohio, and then went to UNC Charlotte, and then finally to Samford University in Alabama. So I've been working my way south over the years, but I have to tell you, I'm a Syracuse basketball fan. And I've been teaching for about 25 years. So that's really, I think, what's relevant for you to know about me at this point. The course is really about what we'll just say advanced accounting topics, but the big topic here is business combinations and consolidations. Now, business combinations and consolidations is really interesting because, and I've said this in a couple of other places, if you were to take a jigsaw puzzle and dump it on the table and start working on it, well, that's a challenging problem. It's really interesting to see if you can put it together. But if you took another jigsaw puzzle and dumped it in there and then made a single puzzle out of the two different puzzles, that's what a business combination from an accounting point of view is like. You have all this information from the parent and all this information from the sub, and you have to combine them and make sense of it and report a single financial statement. And so that's a really interesting activity. It's different than your other accounting courses because when you went through intermediate, you learned about the methods and the journal entries that you had to make, and so you solved your problem by figuring out what a single expense item was, or what a single journal entry was, or what the amount of the liability was. Well, here we have to put all the financial statements together. So it's going to draw on what you know from your previous courses, and it's going to really expand it. So it's a challenging course, and it's going to take a lot of work, but I think you're going to find that it's well worth it. And speaking of it being well worth it, what is worth it about the course? Well, I think the big thing is that it's going to really broaden your accounting education and so show you activities that are involved in the profession that you probably don't have any exposure to outside of this class. But another important reason is that it's really important for sitting for the CPA exam. In fact, some states require you to take this course before you can even sit. But even if they don't require the course, the examiners love to ask questions about consolidations. They love to ask questions about foreign currency transactions. And, they're not particularly hard questions, but if you haven't had any exposure to the material, you have no idea how to answer those. So, like I said, this is a great course. I'm excited to be teaching it. I'm excited to meet you, and I think it's going to be a great semester.